Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We are going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Gemini for the end of November. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, where we will be taking a look at this final portion of the month of November. So the timeline on this reading will be from November 24th all the way until December 4th. Reason I chose December 4th, Gemini, is because that is the full moon in Gemini. So we'll see what's coming to a close for you here as we close out the month of November. Let's go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you, Gemini. Okay. I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you do have the Hanged Man. All right, so there has been a period of like wait and see for you, okay? Some of you here, this is in the past, okay? In the past here, some of you have been kind of like stagnant. Some of you have felt like, you've wanted to move on something, but, life got in the way, things happened. There's been sort of like a period of inaction for you, I feel like, recently. You may feel like you've been sort of prepping yourself for, like, something that is right around the corner, if that makes sense. Like, in other words, you may have a sense that something's kind of like, you're on the edge of like starting something, or something's right around the corner for you, like, and you know this, right? You may have like needed to have more rest, or you may have needed to, like, for whatever reason, there haven't been as many things taking place for you recently, okay, is the way that I would look at this. Now, the other thing here with the Hanged Man is you probably use this time to learn something about yourself, all right? Maybe you've been introspective, maybe you've been sort of gaining enlightenment, maybe you've been meditating. You may have used this time to, maybe even like connect spiritually as well during this time. You may have also, as you look at the Hanged Man looks at the world in an alternative way. You may also have kind of like tried to take a different angle or approach to something here as well. So let's go ahead and let's put that there, and we'll try to expand on this some more as I look at the cards. You definitely have a really, really nice reading. In fact, I'm loving what I'm seeing here for you, okay? So just real quick, let's see here. You have two major arcanas plus the one on the bottom. So you only have three major arcanas, right? You also, just for reference here, you have two court cards. Okay, so I gotta say, your day-to-day has been really, really important recently, okay? It's like kind of been the focus for you, okay? But I think that there's something around the corner here, okay, that feels pretty big, that is kind of looming. It's out there. Okay, and I think that you've been using this time here to recharge. And that's not going to be like, I'm feeling like this period of time we're looking at here, that's kind of like, you're at the tail end of that, right? You're about to start something new here. So right away in the middle, you have the Four of Swords, and this is a card of rest and recovery. You actually have three cards here: Four of Cups, Four of Swords, the Hanged Man. All of these cards may indicate taking care of oneself, doing self-care, like resting, recovering from something. You may have been going through something recently here. Actually, this person's just getting over heartbreak, but I actually certainly don't see that on this reading. It's just, you get the idea, right? This person's been through something, and now they're kind of resting and recovering from it. With that Four of Swords here. And also note how, like, in a normal is not the right word, in the Rider-Waite interpretation of the tarot, which is kind of the standard, this person actually has their hand in a prayer stance, right? In this case, they just have their hand over their heart or their chest. And, the idea here is that I think some of you are connecting to something bigger than yourself, something that is, spiritual in nature, right? I think you're maybe you're diving into tarot cards. Maybe you're a church person. You're going to church. There's a glass pane window on the Four of Swords there. So I do think that that's been pretty enlightening for you actually as well recently. But let's get some more details on what is going on here. In the first column, you have the King of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Two of Wands. So the King of Swords here, now this first column is the past. I don't know if I just mentioned that or not, but in this series that I'm doing, I'm choosing to use this first column as the past, okay? So in the past, so here's the thing. The Four of Cups, you guys know if you watch me, it's usually not my favorite card, but in a reading like this, here's the thing. In a reading like this, I'm actually not too concerned about this Four of Cups. Usually I don't like the Four of Cups because this person's missing out on an opportunity. They may be bored, they may be apathetic, something along those lines, and they're just choosing to not take advantage of what's right in front of them. But for you, Gemini, and I rarely say this in my readings, I feel like this was necessary. Okay? Because actually this person's not just bored, okay? They're not just bored. They are listening to music, okay? So they are taking care of themselves, right? You can see the headphones on. They're doing something that they enjoy doing, right? And they're outside, they're in nature, they're sitting under the tree. Sometimes you go through periods of time like that. You go through these stretches, in life. And I think that this ultimately here is talking more so to like nurturance, and nourishing yourself. And you may have felt like you've needed to do this here with this Four of Cups, Four of Swords, Hanged Man. Okay? Now, as you have the King of Swords, King of Swords, for me, I'm looking at this. This can be an air sign. This can be you, Gemini here. It doesn't matter what gender you are. These are just energies in the readings here. This could be you showing up here. And you know what? That would actually kind of make a lot of sense because it's in this upper row, okay? And this upper row is the row of your thoughts, right? And as I think about this person here on the Four of Cups under the tree, thinking, meditating, doing whatever they are doing, I see that the King of Swords is above them, right? And, I think that you have been thinking about your needs. I think that you have been kind of planning and strategizing and thinking about what's around the corner for you, which there very clearly is something around the corner for you. For some, this may be involving a relationship, by the way. Okay, this isn't going to be for everyone, but for others, this is a different story altogether. But I think that you've been prioritizing yourself here, okay? As I look at this, I also think that you're being really objective in your thinking at this time, which is something that the King of Swords would do, okay? Lastly here, you have the Two of Wands, which indicates that there is potential for you right now, well, in the past year, but the Two of Wands, it also represents some choices, decisions, and actions that you may need to make as well, all right? So maybe this is what you've been in contemplation around. Some of you are or this is why you've had this down period, recently. Maybe that there's a choice right around the corner that needs to be made. And there's potential in that choice as well. Now, in the middle column here, you have the High Priestess, you have the Four of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Okay. So I like this for you, right? I like this for you. So the High Priestess, we're going to start there. I've already talked about the Four of Swords. There's not much else to say about this, actually, the Four of Swords in this reading for right now. Other than, this person's resting and recovering, and I see you're kind of doing that here, okay? Now, the thing about the High Priestess is, sorry for bumping the camera there. My apologies. Let me fix that for you. The thing about the High Priestess is, this can really indicate like even occult knowledge, right? So when you think about the occult, this would be something like tarot, okay? Or it would be something like astrology or palm readings, right? Stuff like this, right? Using your pendulum, these sorts of things, right? And it can be around spiritual information, hidden knowledge, the occult, this sort of thing. Okay, anything connected to spirituality. All right, the High Priestess is holding a scroll, and in, let's say Rider Waite, this scroll would have an anagram for either the Torah or the tarot, right? And so this really indicates, the occult or hidden mysteries in life, spirituality, and this person's also a gatekeeper. Okay, they're sitting in the front of a spiritual gate. And I see here that in this moment, as this middle column is the present period of time, you are really leaning into this. And you may even be feeling a little intuitive. You may be feeling psychic at this time, Gemini. Like you have premonitions, you have feelings. You may have had some dreams here as well. Now, this could also be something completely different, but I think that this is probably going to hold for many people. This can be about secrets. It can be about secrets, okay? Something that's hidden, something that you don't see, okay? And there could be something about secrets here. It is next to a partnership. We'll talk about that more as we go along. I'm not getting a bad vibe about the love stuff here. So, sometimes people keep secrets and it's not malicious, right? Is that true? That is true, right? Think about it. And maybe there is an opportunity here for you to, feel comfortable sharing that if you are in a partnership with somebody, coming up here in the future. Now, the Ace of Wands is, for me, the best card right now for you. And this speaks to initiation, okay? It's starting something new and being really excited about it, right? When you get this Ace of Wands card. Absolutely love to see this for you. This is why I see you going out of a period of not much going on, or it's not even that not much is going on, just inaction, like rest, recovery, this sort of thing. I see you getting out of that period and moving into whatever's around the corner here, and this starting pretty soon, okay, with the Ace of Wands. This should be pretty exciting for you. In the final column, you have the Two of Cups, the Strength card, and the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the future, there's another person in the picture, okay? I feel like recently there really hasn't been, okay? I'm sure, if you live with someone, okay, they're there, right? They're in the picture, but they're not, front and center, right? Like, they're not the core focus. In the future here, somebody's in the picture, okay? More so, as you have this Two of Cups. It can really speak to a significant love relationship, a union with somebody else, but it can also be non-romantic as well, right? It can just really indicate partnership generally in tarot. And for me, it's a really good card. You have to look at what's around it, right? But for you, you've got the High Priestess, the Four of Swords, and the Strength card around it, okay? And I will say that there are opportunities in the future for you to do something with someone that is maybe challenging for you to do, such as reveal something. So you may reveal something to a person, or a person may reveal something to you. With the High Priestess, the Two of Cups here, okay? And with the Strength card, it says that you are supported in this. At this time, you can work through this here. Now, with the Queen of Pentacles, this is practicality, okay? In the tarot, this could be a person as well, any earth sign, but it could really be anybody, especially somebody who's down to earth, good with money. These sorts of things can show up with the Queen of Pentacles. Not getting a whole lot of intuitive hits on this card right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into the clarifications portion of this reading here, Gemini, and we're going to see what comes forward for you. All right. So I'm going to start off by pulling some oracle cards, and then we're also going to pull some tarot cards for you. All right. Take this one. Okay. All right. Energy on the bottom. You have ask your angels. I see you in this space. You've been in this space for a while, okay? Connecting with your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, God, whatever you kind of put meaning to, spirit team, your higher self. I see that you have been really connecting recently, all right? And I think you've been doing this in your downtime that you've had. And you've probably, you deserve to have this downtime as well. Now, let's see what else we have here. You have trust, not the right time, and compromise. Trust, not the right time, and compromise. So usually this trust card is about trusting the universe, or trusting God, or trusting, yourself, your these sorts of things. I'm not entirely sure that this isn't about just the issue of trust generally in life. Do you trust people around you? Let's find out, because I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. There is something that needed to be divulged or spoken about or revealed, and it just hasn't been the right time. Okay? Now you have meditation brings answers, the situation will improve, and unlikely. Meditation brings answers, the situation will improve, and unlikely. All right. Yeah, and isn't that amazing that we have this meditation card as well? As I've spoken about this a lot in this reading, that I think whether it's meditation or another practice, you're doing something similar to this right now and recently. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the tarot clarifications here for you, Gemini. Now, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I do hope things are going well for you. I'm actually using the Galactic Star Tarot. This is actually the first series I'm using this deck on. Picked this up in New Zealand when I was in New Zealand and Australia earlier this year. It's pretty interesting. Definitely a different type of deck for me. But anyway, let's go ahead and see some of the messages. So you have the Page of Pentacles, you have the Page of Cups, and you have the Knight of Cups. Sorry, Page of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, not the Page. Page of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Knight of Cups. My apologies. All right, so let's see here. Usually when I go with that Eight of Cups and the Four of Cups, this is usually about avoidance, okay, or avoidant tendencies. Is there something you were avoiding here in the past? Maybe. But again, I wasn't getting like a super negative vibe from the Four of Cups like I usually do. But really, the thing about the Eight of Cups that I love is this person's deciding to go in a new direction. You know, they're letting the pain of their past behind them. You know, they're letting the emptiness behind them, and they're moving forward, and they're moving on, right? And I do think, as I look at this not the right time card here, there's an important conversation or something that needs to be revealed with the High Priestess, and this hasn't happened yet, okay? This hasn't happened yet, and there's probably like a divine timing issue here. I see that this is going to be happening for you in the future. With the Knight of Cups and the Two of Wands, I would say that, you know, the Knight of Cups is about courtship, somebody being really interested in you here, for sure, or you being interested in them. And this can be in a variety of areas in life. Okay, this could be like, for example, a business trying to court you, right? A business being interested in hiring you, for example. If you're already in a relationship and like, you know, that's obviously not going to apply to you, right? The relationship part of this. But, you know, it can be around proposals as well. So there's definitely been a potential here for you. We're going to get more details on that. And then the Page of Pentacles is around, you know, offers, usually. Offers in money or offers to learn, to study, to grow. Maybe raises as well. I would say that the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups with proposals and money, like that could certainly be somebody's getting a raise or a promotion combination here in the past. Okay, you have this amazing Ace of Wands once again here, falling on the High Priestess. You have the Nine of Swords, and you have the Nine of Cups. All right, so interestingly enough, I think, no. There's like stars 33 on this license plate, but I don't think that last number is a 3. I don't know. I can't tell. It's cut off. But anyway, I'm like looking for angel numbers here because I'm feeling like you're seeing them. We have double nines. Okay, so that is something. You may be seeing 999 at some point. I don't know if we have another 9. We have 2 4s. Anyway, all right, let's get back on track here. So with the double aces of wands in the middle here, it's very clearly like it's time to go on something, and the rest period's going to end up being over here for you pretty soon. Okay, pretty soon. But you shouldn't feel guilty about the rest. It feels like this is something that you needed to do, or if there just wasn't a lot going on, like if you were in like kind of like a stagnant period, like it's not something you should feel guilty around according to the cards here. It's just what needed to happen. Okay, but this is about to transform for you here as you're really initiating something with that Ace of Wands card. Um, the and again, this is about something needing to be discussed or revealed for you at this time. Okay, with that Ace of Wands, I think this is going to end up working out for you. The Knight of Swords, it's about anxiety, it's about fear, it's about like ruminating. This person's worried about something in their future as well, and maybe just the future right now is uncertain for you. You know something's around the corner, but there could be some uncertainty here. We're going to get that answer in a minute. Lastly, you have to love the Nine of Cups, right? The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment in the tarot. I like the Torii Gate here on the card, the Mount Fuji in the background, very interesting. As well, I think there's like an Omakuju there as well in this illustration as well. Very interesting illustration. But anyway, yeah, it's about wish fulfillment here, and whatever it is that you're starting here now, right? I talked about in this entire reading that you are moving out of a period of kind of like stagnancy and moving into a period of action with double Ace of Wands. Whatever this is, like this seems to be pretty well aspected for you here with this Nine of Cups wish fulfillment. It seems like that this is in alignment with where you want to be going. Okay, so I like this. Now you just can't escape it here because you have this King of Cups person which is meditating on this illustration, right? So you have the King of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands, and you also have the Nine of Discs, Nine of Pentacles. So we do have 999. Okay. Well, I was expecting to see that number. So, okay. I thought that number was there and it wasn't there. Here it is. So you do have 999, which is an angel number. I would really look out for that. Okay. So, the Nine of Pentacles, which is discs in this deck, is about luxury in life. It is about building a life that you are proud of. It's about building something that sustains yourself. This person has I love the Nine of Pentacles because this person's figured out the secret sauce. They figured out the cheat code, so to speak, in life. There really aren't any, but if there is one, this is it, which is they've created time for themselves, right? They have time available for their money here, which is represented by this hand, and they have time available for anything else they want to do, which is represented by this hand, right? So they've created this perfect balance, right, where they've built something that they can sustain themselves with, and they've created freedom, energy, time, and space, right? And you seem to be leveraging some, income that you're creating here with this Queen of Pentacles, or some investments that you've made to create that for yourself. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. This seems to be like you're doing something right in planning. Like, I'm obviously not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But there's something here that's going correctly for you in the money, financial areas based on this reading in the future. Okay, so, I feel pretty good about this for you. You have the Ten of Wands here. This does represent a completion in the tarot. And it does represent hard work as well. Primarily, what I think this is about for you is doing something difficult or doing something hard, because there is something that needs to be revealed, like I said, and this is not going to be easy. But with the Strength card and the Eight of Wands, this is really about, you leaning into everything that you're capable of, which is a lot, Gemini. Okay? Lastly here, this King of Cups, this person's literally in meditation, okay? And we've got all of these answers around this here, we've got all of these signs around the idea of like meditation or, connecting with spirit, connecting with, God, whatever it is you're into. Like, this is something I think you've been engaged in. I think you're going to continue being engaged in this. And I think this is about maybe a partnership or a union. This is why I think some of you are soul searching or thinking a lot, or trying to find answers right now. Maybe you're watching tarot readings, maybe you're getting astrology readings. Maybe you're looking for an answer right now connected to another person. Yeah, and this may be a romantic person or not, but this person's significant for you right now. On the bottom, you do have the Two of Wands. So we had this card here, which is all about potential in the tarot, but also a choice, okay, a choice. And there may be a choice here that's stressing you out a little bit with this Nine of Swords card. So in the middle, but let's go ahead and let's take a look at the clarifications. Sorry, let's take a look at the Kipper cards to continue this clarifications portion. So let's see what we have here. Let me just get a shuffle in. And yeah, we'll see what we have. Okay, you have high honor, you have thoughts, gift, journey, mature man, and bad health. All right, so with this set of cards here, you know, the high honor card is all about being well respected in whatever it is that you do. Usually this means you're pretty decorated or respected in work, you know, like, yeah. And you are showing up in a favorable light from somebody who's maybe your boss or somebody like an authority figure or something like that. So it's definitely something you usually want to see. I do see that there's been well-deserved rest here for you with that high honor card. You may have accomplished something that was a difficult feat to accomplish here in the past. Let's see here. You've got occupation and distant horizons. Yeah. I like what's happening in the career area for you, okay? I think that you are, what I see is somebody who's building a reputation, okay? What I see is somebody who's building a reputation, building a career, climbing the ladder, like doing these sorts of things to the best of their ability. And I think that this is going to end up actually paying off for you. Sadly, I'm not seeing any messages connected to this other person, okay, which I see that you're really thinking about, okay? With this bad health card, I strongly think that it's connected to either needing to ground, like get grounded, or something connected to your thoughts in some way here, okay? And this is why I think you're also looking to esoteric stuff like tarot and also meditation. What do we have on the bottom? Lovers. Okay, so here it is, right? So I think there are choices in that area of your life, if you're here for love, that need to be like ironed out, squared away. And I think there are like some truths and some like something that needs to be revealed in that area. And the answer is not here in the cards right now, right? So I think that you're still searching for that. So Gemini, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.